It's not a good way to start.
No, I'm so ready.
Oh yeah, Season 5, Episode 6 of Perfectly Good Podcast. Ooh, and I'm feeling it tonight. Ooh, when you're home alone, when you're on your own, I'll be the baby, just wait and see. I'll be the only one. I'll be your only one to be with you. Oh, not like that, no, no. Oh, I'm talking about podcasts, yeah. A PGP, good for me. PGP, you know it's got to be. PGP,
PGP,
good for me.
PGP,
and it's good for you. When you're home alone, I'll be there, but not creepy. When you're walking on your own, oh, but not like that. Ooh.
but not like that.
Yes, it's Season 5, Episode 6 of Perfectly Good Podcast. I'm Andrew Pogson. Oh, let's just get straight into it. Yes, it's Season 5, Episode 6 of Perfectly Good Podcast. I feel like I've said that a lot now. I'm Andrew Pogson, and I am joined, as always, by the three exciting gentlemen of Tripod. Simon Hall, how do you do?
I do well.
Stephen Gates, how's things?
I'm eating worlds.
Wow.
Okay, that's a visual gag.
That's good.
Scott Edgar, how do you do?
It's a visual
Well,
gag.
thanks, Pogo. I thought I'd lost my sense of curiosity in the world, having gotten older, but having heard that, I have so many questions.
Okay, this requires some back announcing.
It does.
I challenged myself, and I decided this at 12 o'clock, so it's 1 o'clock now. We sort of jump on 15 before to get the stream ready to go. I challenged myself at 12 o'clock. I thought, you know what? The guys always have to sort of smash out these songs every week. I would try to do a song in 20 minutes, but it would be like an intro in 20 minutes. So originally I just recorded, like I wrote, so in the 20 minutes, I started writing like a bit of a monologue and thought I'd put my usual sound effects in. And I was like, no, wait a minute, I have to do a song. So I got the backing ready, and then that left me with about 2 minutes at the end of the 20. And so pretty much, I don't know if you could tell, but pretty much that was mostly improvised.
You really showed us up. You really showed us up. Who needs 20 minutes? Who needs writing at all?
So it was mostly, I wrote maybe the first sentence, and then I had an idea that I would say PGP is good enough for me, and that was it. That was the writing, and then the rest was me.
Did you sequence that background?
Yeah. I didn't individually play that in. That's me using GarageBand and sequencing a bunch of things and so on. So like this is still 20 minutes. I'm not sitting there composing everything.
Sounded good though. I thought you just ripped off like a Michael Jackson karaoke.
No.
It sounded like PYT to me.
No. Anyway, so yeah, we had to. The sequencing took the longest time, even though that was probably about 8 minutes of the whole thing. Anyway, so I'll try and do a new intro each episode now, and you can critique at the top of the show.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander, Pogo.
I don't think we were given an opportunity to critique it, really.
Your critiques, Stephen Gates. How did you? How successful did you think it was?
I loved it. Don't you love how the Apple operating system incorporates your iPhone so you can get phone calls on your computer? It's really good. I don't know how to turn it off. Anyway, no, I thought it was excellent, especially the lyrics. Perfect for a dance floor banger.
Yeah,
just a lot of Do you remember those Songify guys that we used to watch, Boys on the Road? You know, they
yeah.
Songify the news.
Slamming in your
Yeah, I was watching it the other night, and there's this little kid that they've just done. They've songified, but he can't. He's talking about his dreams, and he can't really articulate but it's just a lot of, Then you could, it should when you come, and then it's gonna be everything will be all right. And they've songified all that, and it sounds perfect dance floor lyrics. You gotta, you wanna, you could. Yeah. Everything's gonna be all right. I love that.
I think Pogo, I think you've found your voice as a singer. I like you in that mode.
Yeah, there was a few little moments,
Yeah.
a few little kind of Britney Spears kind of moments.
I was hearing a full George Benson. That's where my head went.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You got a full George Benson. Good.
I got a full George Benson.
I was listening to that.
Anyway, we are back with episode 6, and of course, if you are listening either on YouTube, well, these guys on YouTube have already done exactly what I'm about to suggest, and that is, if you're enjoying the podcast, please feel or consider supporting it financially over at patreon.com/perfectly good podcast. Perfectly Good Podcast. I can't even say it now. We'd love to see you over there. There's a whole bunch of different tiers. To be perfectly honest, it's only the bottom tier that doesn't get access to the extra content. Everyone else gets access to extra content and live chats and hangouts and whatever else. So it's a little bit of it's if people have the means, they can give a bit more. If etc.
The top tier, for the top tiers,
Yes.
people, we will send you a vial of our actual tears. Intermingled.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just letting you know that my internet is particularly unstable today, so I didn't hear the last 2 minutes.
I was wondering about that, Gatesy. We had a particularly unproductive Zoom session yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, how's that going to go for the podcast?
Yeah. They're doing a lot of 5G work up here.
Oh yeah. I bet.
Is that what you mean, like protesting against it and burning all the towers? And
All of it. It's a mecca.
You are in the homeland of anti-vaxxers, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But that said,
It's a great place to be in a pandemic.
Yeah, that's all fine, but because they're doing it, it means the mobile network is all rooted. But I'm on my phone. I'm
Routed is the word.
I'm hotspotting from my mobile phone right now, so hopefully it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see how we go.
The internet's fine.
And Can you confirm or deny this, Scott? Have we retained or lost our support from the City of Melbourne?
The City of Melbourne are sending federal agents, having checked out one of the podcasts. They were very kind to help us during the first kind of month or so of episodes of this, but at this point now we're on our own.
They've pushed us out of the nest.
Now we can fly.
As evidenced by your song.
Big ups to them, though. They've worked hard to just give everyone a bit of a boost.
Yes.
And it's been much appreciated.
And of course, if everyone knows times are hard for everyone at the moment, so if you can't afford to support the podcast in that way, we'd love for you to spread the word to friends, family, enemies. If you hate this podcast, send it to your enemies, and that'll show them. So spread the hate. That is Perfectly Good Podcast.
If you can't afford to do the Patreon, maybe you could help us out with a little comment. Comment on
a little review.
Bit of a iTunes review, or
a little bit of a 5-star type.
Well,
thing.
I don't want to tell you what to do, but 5 stars.
Yeah.
I think that's the only setting.
Yeah. It's pretty much if you hate it, just don't listen to it.
I think
if you like it, 5 stars.
We seriously considered putting on a poster once as a quote, 3 stars.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's what didn't Greg Fleet once get a 1-star review in Adelaide? This is in the early noughties, and he walked around with a sheriff's badge, 1-star kind of guy. He really owned it.
A colleague of us, who shall not be named, once did photocopy a 4-star review in Edinburgh, but put an extra star on and start handing out flyers.
Turns out you can just amend things.
You can just change stuff. It's fine.
Something else that is a benefit to the patrons is that they're on the live chat with us, and we already have our first question that perhaps is a good time to ask. Hannah Under the Tree writes,
Hi, Hannah.
are we still going to have Gatesy's Song in 20 Minutes behind-the-scenes videos on the YouTube?
Yes.
Very interesting question. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
there we go, Hannah. Yes.
I've just banked my 3rd episode. So I've got 2 to do.
Yep.
I'm still,
Editing would
sorry,
be a
it is
nightmare
taking
on those,
a
wouldn't
long-
they?
I'm in awe, Gatesy, of your ability to do that whilst handling the stress of actually writing the song. I'm just, I made big noises about doing Vloggeress reports, but I never did one yet. So well done.
Yeah, no. I think it's helped me, to be honest, because it is that, it's keeping the electric firing because you're being observed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tree falls in the forest
and-
sort of stuff.
Yeah. It certainly helped me, but I'm very sorry. They will continue, and I've got to finish the one that I ran out of time for. That's sorry. So the last episode, my camera ran out of film 5 minutes before it ended. So
Gatesy records on celluloid.
So at the end of that episode will be the song that I failed to finish the previous week. That ballad about being in a restaurant or ordering Uber because I wanted to finish that.
No.
So that was the idea. So I've made too much work for myself.
Yeah.
Or I'm too lazy.
Again.
One of the two.
Oh, we'll never know.
No, it could be both.
Yeah, let's not say one or
I
the
really
other.
want to strike a balance. Yes.
And of course,
got a-
Gatesy, you're still up north at the moment,
Yes.
enjoying the sunshine. How is the weather up there?
Sort of rainy season now. It's just
really?
beautiful and rainy.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Melbourne.
Oh.
Remember when that used to be a rainy city, boys? Lovely
This time of
winters
year.
in the
Yeah.
rain. Yeah. Now how is it? Dry? Anyway, we're talking about weather.
Dry and bright.
Dry and bright. It's cold though.
It is cold. It is certainly cold.
This is great content.
Well,
heading
I've got
up
an
to
idea
Daylesford
for a
on the weekend.
Ooh, Dalesies.
That's happening. Very
Yeah.
excited for a change of scenery. Something different in my eyeballs. I think that'll be very, very good.
idea.
Very good for me.
And you're going up with the family, Scott?
I am going up with a family.
Well, that's another thing too.
just
Supporting the
after-
country towns during such times, both with the bushfires and with COVID, country towns need our
yes.
tourism dollar
Yes.
at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a segment. It's an open-ended segment. It's
Oh,
called
please.
Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner.
Ooh.
Now,
Have a sting.
not yet. Can you?
the wind.
Yeah.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Oh, here we go. This is the best. It's,
This is young.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
excellent. See? That's it. Andrew.
Yep.
Short.
3 chords and the
Efficient.
struth.
But I was talking with a special friend about she's attracted to musical instruments, and we were trying to come up with an idea of what that word would be. I think amorous would be in there somewhere, but it has to be. It's specific to instruments, musical instruments, and there's not really a word for it. Do you know of a word? Can you make up one? Can you do a portmanteau or something?
You mean attracted?
Attracted to, not
Like
not
finds sexy.
find sexy, but not necessarily wants to hump them. It's not like that.
You find the actual instrument attractive. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Not the person playing it or
No.
just the actual instrument.
I'm sure there's a fetish word.
Oh,
for
what
it.
about F-hole lover?
Love it.
Well, that's very specifically to classical
violins
string
and
instruments,
shit.
though.
Yeah.
Jon, so
Yeah,
you haven't
but
been
you
broad
can
enough.
extend it to...
Instraphilia.
so instraphilia. Yeah, but see, doesn't now. And there's another thing. Does philia mean want to have sex with,
pretty much.
or want is in
no,
love
not
with?
necessarily. You can be a francophile means you're interested in
You're
French
interested
Okay,
in French
yeah.
things.
things. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, you do that, and everything's about fucking, isn't it?
And then I looked up what is the most attractive instrument on the internet because I was interested. What do you think about this? So Of course, there are 5 instruments listed on this. What do you think is the most attractive instrument
Guitar.
in terms? Guitar. At what percentage? You are right, Yanni. What percentage? Make it a sound from there.
83.
No, 26%.
Okay.
Find
It's a
a
line
good.
ball.
What do you think is the second most attractive instrument?
The cello.
The
Drums.
blaxophone.
You are correct, Andrew Pogson.
The blaxophone.
At 25%.
The saxophone. When
Shit.
was this survey taken in the 80s?
This is from CBSNews.com.
The saxophone cheats
Whoa.
into being sexy because it can go like it can really sort of like
can be
guitars
sexy.
can.
Well,
Yeah, you're
anything
right.
that I bet the slide whistle's not on that list. That does the same thing.
Shut up.
What is the next one at 21%?
The pog horn.
Oh, here we go.
Many
I'm
have
holding
many have said on the chat, on the YouTube chat here, the pog horn.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
different instrument, just so you know.
It is a different instrument. I'm going to stick with
a whole
cello.
different
Cello's
pack.
got to be on there somewhere.
You
Cello's
are
a very
almost-
sexy instrument.
Well, it's not on this list. There's
What?
there's 4 more instruments. Piano at 21%, ladies and gentlemen.
Piano.
Piano. And what about
It's a
at
big box.
14? At what 14%? You're on your way almost with a cello.
Well, okay. I mean,
Violin.
violin.
Violin, congratulations. I don't
The
know what you
least
win.
sexy of the string instruments.
Yeah,
No offense
yeah,
to violin
exactly.
players
What
out
is
there.
violin is?
Interesting.
yeah.
So,
What
so
about
you're
viola?
saying the viola is more sexy?
Yes.
than
Oh,
violin.
yes, it is. It's
Fuck
got a
yeah.
lot of junk in the trunk there,
Yeah,
Simon.
junk in the trunk. It's
Yeah.
huskier.
Whoa.
Yeah. A little curvier. A little curvier.
It's more curvy. It's more. It's got more sort of. What's it called when something vibrates?
It's seen some
Resonance.
Resonance. It's got more resonance.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
At 7%, 2 more instruments. 7%.
Ooh.
Drums. I'm going to say drums.
Drums,
And the
no.
last at 5%. An interesting. It is a woodwind.
Woodwind.
Yes.
Bagpipes.
A sexy
No.
woodwind.
Flute.
Flute. Yes.
Flute.
Yes. At 5. Flute is sexy.
I hate
What?
this.
Flute is sexy.
Wrong.
And
This is all
Yanni,
wrong.
that
Hey.
was No One Puts Baby in the Corner.
Don't make me play it again. Pogo, just roll.
Yeah. I'll put the bumper in there. Yeah.
love
I
it.
don't
And
understand. I don't understand this segment. Can you explain to me the segment? I understand what we just did, but how does No One Puts Baby in the Corner make sense?
Wow.
Wow.
You really seek sort of confinement restrictions. You know,
Yeah. Explanations. yeah.
my segments are open ended, baby. It can be about anything.
Yeah. Right.
Wow. Are we done? Is that enough? Got enough content?
I've got a small screen sluts. I think
okay.
I think
Wait
the
a minute.
reason you guys
Small
didn't
screen
take to that
slut, no.
name because we
No.
didn't.
Remote. It's
What?
remote
Not
ahead.
small screen. It's remote ahead, you dickhead. Motorhead.
Good sting.
Welcome to Remote Ahead, Simon Hall. What have you got for us?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make people aware of who have watched The Mandalorian and are interested in that Star Wars spin-off show. That the special features are quite extensive and fun, and there was a thing that Dave Filoni, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Dave Filoni. Yeah.
So he's one of the main people behind the show, and they sort of, in one of the interviews, they just sort of let him hold court, read the whole Darth Vader journey and all that sort of stuff. And something that it had never occurred to me was he was getting really deep about the fight in Episode 1 between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Liam Neeson.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yep.
And he was talking about how it's the most important fight in the whole saga.
Does he mean? Could you contextualize that? Does he mean story-wise or just in terms of the
Story-wise.
impact it had cinematically?
Story-wise.
No, I think story. Yeah.
Sure.
And it had never really occurred to me, or maybe it had sort of subconsciously, but about the idea that Qui-Gon was the mentor that Anakin needed.
Yeah.
Because he understood how to be a Jedi and to be a person and let himself have feelings at the same time. And none of the others sort of knew how to do that. And then the Order had sort of moved away from, and that had become too political and sort of stuffy.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the best bit, which I've.
So are you saying that
You don't need
Obi-Wan
to watch it
ultimately is the B team and a failure? Is that what
Pardon?
you're saying? You're saying Obi-Wan
Yes.
is a B
Yes.
choice and the failure.
Well, Obi-Wan's more like a brother. And I mean, that's more obvious, that idea that Obi-Wan wasn't ready to do that. But I think more importantly, not just that he wasn't ready, but he wasn't the right kind of guy. He didn't have the right kind of philosophy that, as
That
someone
Anakin
who could be
needed.
a father, the right kind of father to Anakin.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Did anyone since we've just immediately backslid into 40-something white guy Star Wars talk?
How dare you? I'm not 40 yet.
Does anyone know? Has anyone seen any of the? I think it's called Squadrons.
Oh, yes.
That
Today,
looks
I think
cool.
yesterday they released the gameplay trailer.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That would
What
be
is
good.
it?
It's an EA looks like X-Wing vs TIE Fighter game. If anyone played that in the early 90s.
Is it online?
There is an online element and there's a single player element as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you telling me that they're basically rebooting
Yep.
X-Wing?
That's what they're
'Cause that's
saying
what
in
I
the
want.
publicity.
Yes.
yeah,
That's what they're
basically
talking
saying-
about. You're
Pretty
saying.
much.
And honestly, I was reading an article about it, and it's all the stuff that I've been waiting for since the early 90s, which is like you've got a certain amount of power and you can put it towards...
They talk
management.
about that?
Yeah, shields or lasers or engines,
That's what you got.
and you're constantly power managing the whole
Oh,
time.
how good is power management?
I love
Yeah.
power management.
Totally. Now, this is what I want, and this game will be... This is the difference between a 1-star game and a 5-star game.
Power management.
It'll be It'll be a 5-star game if one on couch co-op. If one person is like the pilot with their controller, and the second person is ultimately the fucking droid, and they've got either a keyboard with them or another controller. Doesn't matter, but they're doing all the power management and the whatever. They're not controlling the ships, the guns, the nothing. They're doing the power management, couch co-op. And then the person next to you is flying.
That's
now
cool.
that's a 5-star game.
Oh,
1-star
wow.
game is where
Yeah.
you just fly the thing.
Yeah. You can
a
have a
one-star
wedge. You got your own wedge. That's awesome.
Hang on. So you just fly the thing, and like, are you allowed to have dogfights? Is that still a
Yeah,
one-star
no. You're still
game?
still a 1-star game. 1-star game is everything you expect it to be. And it's even 1-star if you have to do power management with like the R2 trigger or something.
That's harsh.
Like
That is
1-star.
harsh.
5 stars.
You're the
sitting-
problem with the internet, I think. It's people like
Found
you.
Fanboys.
You're the problem.
We found it. Let's get it.
Fanboys.
1-star or 5. Yeah.
That's pretty much how you rate podcasts too, which is why you should rate this podcast 5 stars.
Yep.
Speaking of fanboy-ish people, I follow a lot of D&D stuff on like Instagram and stuff. Being as I'm a big D&D fan, and they just made an announcement around the Black Lives Matter, kind of groundswell that's going on about they're going to try and re-release their products and give them a big sort of spring clean as far as making sure there's kind of diversity and representation in there and the attitude to race, right? Which is an interesting area for role-playing games in terms of like why are goblins always baddies? Like there's a race conversation that's kind of in there.
Yeah.
So I mean that's fine. More power to them. Do it. But what I was interested in and perhaps not surprised by, but still kind of a bit like my heart sank was there's just on their own Instagram feeds, their own followers, just all this backlash going, this is, political correctness gone mad, and this is blah, 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 this, that, the other. I was like, it's really disappointing, when you think you're in a subculture that's, kind of chill, and they turn out not to be.
You're not.
Yeah.
Did you think that?
I don't know. I didn't think it with video games, but I guess I let myself think it with D&D. Yeah.
It's weird for D&D too because it's the ultimate for like weird random shit going on, isn't it? That's why it's maybe surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is an aspect of role playing that is a kind of adopting other identities and trying out other identities, and that has always interfaced really well with LGBTQ stuff. So anyway, it's a shame.
Hey, I've got a little thing here. I guess it's technically a mailbag, but I'm not going to press the mailbag button. But someone has written in. And they literally wrote nothing in the body of the email, and the email address I couldn't work out who it was, and there wasn't much in the heading, and all they attached was an MP3.
Oh, you didn't.
So
click a
I'm
link.
going to play this for you now.
Is it a virus?
Sorry.
You got an email with an object in it and no
Yeah.
information, but you clicked the link.
No, I definitely clicked on it because that's what you do,
Don't-
Scott. When
don't
you
do
receive
that.
things on the internet
Don't do it.
that are attachments, how do you know if they're viruses if you don't
Don't
click on them
click-
and
don't-
install?
If anyone's watching, please don't do what Andrew did.
Okay, so here it is. Please enjoy.
Pluto, you're still a planet to me. I don't see why they won't let you be what you want to be. If you want to be planetary,
I think I know who did this.
you should be.
I think I do too.
Pluto, that's fine with me. Don't think I haven't thought it through. Oh, you know, Pluto, the moment we give that name to you, oh, you know, Pluto, every supermassive asteroid suddenly becomes a planetoid. Pluto, you go. You've got a planet to be totally. Pluto, you do you so subconsciously. And when I look up to see above me, my solar system now has 83,000 planets in it. But Pluto, I support your choices. Pluto, you go be free. But Pluto, you go be free. Pluto, you go be free. But Pluto, you go be free.
Yeah.
Woo! There we go. So
uh,
initially, I was a bit freaked out because I'm like, where did this person gain the vocals?
The stems, that's the first thing I thought
stems.
too. And then you realise, oh, no, that's the one from the podcast.
They've taken it right off the
Yeah.
podcast. That's why
Yeah.
you hear Yoni and Gatesy laughing and going, yeah, in the middle of it, suddenly out of nowhere. So they've taken the podcast and then they've chopped it up and added it back in. And potentially even slowed it down a little bit, it sounds like.
Something
Maybe.
going on. Hard to
Yeah.
put drums over something that I was just playing acoustically in terms of like the tempo would have.
Yeah, because, I mean,
know.
your tempo is not good. So
My tempo is I'm a fucking grandfather clock, all right? But even me,
Good or bad?
even me. Yeah, I just go bong once an hour.
In between, speeds up, slows down.
Anyway, I had my suspicions on who sent this in, but do you want to have some guesses?
Oh, it's got to be our dear friend Casey Bonetto. That's my guess. That is my guess. You
Stephen
don't
Gates,
think?
do you have a guess?
I don't think it's him.
I strongly think it's him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
for
who it
Casey.
is.
2 for Casey. A third
I should be
for
asking
someone
him
else.
this evening.
A third for. Well, I know who it is now, so I have the
Yeah.
answer.
Okay.
Casey, do you have any other guesses?
Oh, you do know?
Yes, I
Andrew Pogson did it.
That Gates is like, who do we know that's really funky?
Yeah. Oh, who do we know who knows those jazz chords for?
Because it would only be people we know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I think it's not Casey.
Okay,
after,
yes.
But no, after you reveal the answer. But if it's Casey, then it's all...
Okay, is it Casey? Yes, it is. It's Casey Benetto.
Interesting.
Why do you think it's not Casey, Gatesy?
Because he would spend hours and hours and hours on it.
Yes.
And
Do you think he didn't?
I would just think Casey, I love you, but he would. I just can see him just getting excited and adding bits and harmonies, and that was pretty restrained.
It's the restraint that
playing along.
Yeah.
He did a few. He did a few of our those songs that we did for, well, at least one of them anyway, for Double J, and he did the same thing. He just grabbed the thing that had all our shit on it, and then put drums and everything, and managed to make it again sound like a band.
Yes.
I don't remember it having that much extra shit on it, particularly because we had harmonies and everything. But
we should have him on. We should have him be a special guest on one of the Song in 20-minute segments.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And afterwards, just
would be very
to
good.
show our viewers how it's really done.
Yeah, the reason why you have me here is because A, I'm not funnier than you guys, and B, I'm not a better composer than you guys. So don't be bringing in someone who's both of those things.
No, both of those things. That's right.
He's a very good MC too. Incredible
great
MC.
MC.
Oh, fuck.
Great host. Very good broadcaster.
Hey, can
That's
I
his
just
way
mod-
around a panel.
I'm going to cut his lunch here and tell one of his stories, which is not,
Okay.
it's not great. But so Case is doing. He regularly does radio in Melbourne, and he used to do a fair bit of the Conversation Hour, John Fain, and part of his kind of role was the guy who would come in with the funny song about himself and the other guests, right? And he rocks up to the studio. I'm probably getting this a bit wrong, but having prepared a song for the guests, who included someone else, and the third guest was Stephen Sondheim, right? And then he's so excited, he's felt the pressure of having to write this song, and then they tell him one of the guests is been changed. Sondheim's still on, but one of the other guests has changed. So he's sitting there in the foyer of the ABC, wildly scribbling, writing out a new song. And Stephen Sondheim comes and sit opposite him and tries to sort of spark up, sort of fire up a bit of conversation. And he's had to blow him off because he's having to write a song about him. And apparently Stephen Sondheim was very reasonable about it. And he's like, okay, I understand. You go to your place, respecting his. But imagine that, you
What a
big
place.
chance to write a song for one of the greatest writers ever.
Yeah.
I've got something shocking for you guys. Casey Benetto writes, there's actually a version with harmonies. Do you know, Casey has just appeared on the YouTube chat.
See?
Hello, Case.
Hi, Casey. Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Yeah, he's actually on this episode. I should just hand the mic over.
I hope I got your story right, Case.
Yeah, well, see now you're worried.
I feel like I wrecked it a bit. It was just a bit of it was a bit of a lead balloon, I thought.
Anyway, that was a bunch of fun. Now, so thank you, Casey. And yes, we should get Casey on for something in the future. I think there'd be a fun little time there. We'll have a talk to him. Oh, and he's now told us that's the correct story, by the way, Scott. So we're off the hook.
Yeah.
Right. Let's actually, speaking of songs in 20 minutes, we of course have our ongoing fortnightly competition. And in episode 5, our winner was Stephen Gates, currently the Carrio the champ. And and it was Interstate Angel. Do you want to tell us anything about that song or what has happened before we over the week before we play it, or you want to listen to it first, Stephen?
Well, let's just listen to it.
Okay, and we'll talk about it. So here we are, the completed and tripodified Interstate Angel.
Interstate Angel, where are you now? Interstate Angel, where are you now? Somewhere interstate, I suspect, totally absent in every respect. Oh, interstate angel, come back to me. Or should I come back to you? It's out of our hands 'cause the road closed down, and there'd be smokies on my back if I tried to leave town. The time's on our side if we believe it's true. Distance ain't a thing when it comes to me and you. Oh, interstate angel, where are you now? I mean it, interstate angel, where are you now? Where are you now? You ain't taking a call for a number of weeks. It's been over a month since we gotten to speak. Oh, interstate angel, come back to me. Or should I come back to you? INTERSTATEANGEL. Interstate angel, I can sure spell. Interstate angel. If we could come together like all of them letters, that'd be swell. Interstate angel. Oh, interstate angel, where are you now? Interstate angel, where are you now? Interstate angel. It's been a fair spell since we first kissed. Just letting you know that I still exist. Oh, interstate angel, I'm down on one knee. Interstate angel. Oh, won't you come back to me? Oh, won't you come back to me?
Hey, Interstate Angel.
Wow.
I love it.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
That was
Stephen,
Yes.
given you were the composer and mixer, I believe, on this particular one, composer-producer. What can you tell us?
It's too slow.
Too
That's
slow.
right, 'cause-
Too slow.
Yeah, just like a
Couple of beats, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Recording the backbone at the thing what I thought it was on the guitar and then sending it out to everyone. So before we did that, we had a meeting, Scott, Jon and myself, and just worked out the form. We could do that and a key change there, and that's cool. So we got that. I said I'd record the guitar to a click track. But so once I started building the song around that click track and the guitar, I couldn't get the feel right. I wanted that lazy, laid back thing. But the feel starts coming into its own in the second half, especially with the acoustics for me. I found it really hard to just fucking, anyway.
Do you know what I think it is?
Right.
I was actually wondering whether I was going to make this point, but you've brought it up. Is because, I agree. It just feels like it's, by the way, I love it. I really do. And so therefore I am being incredibly nitpicky here. It feels like it's not moving forward because of what the drums are doing, and because it's like boom, 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 boom.
I like that.
But it doesn't
really
have
sort of
something
lazy kick.
But it doesn't have something that's propelling it forward. It only has plodding, and there's not. So I was imagining like brushes on a snare, going bump. So you've got that. That is moving things forward a little more. So if you just listen to the beginning of it here.
Interstate angel, where are you now?
It's also because the guitars aren't moving forward either.
That's the problem for me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the drums. It's the consistency of that
Yeah.
strumming, which easy.
Yeah, so
stuff I
everything
find very hard.
everything is just beat, and if everything is doing that, nothing is pushing forward, which then gives it an impression of slowing down. Not, it's perfect. But
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, it's really good though. Like
So
the
that,
feel is really good.
that vague hint of string part way in the distance.
Yeah, so
that took me
talk
4
me
days.
if people could hear that. There's,
4 days.
There's string. There's like an orchestra in it that's down in the mix. But
Yeah. So
Scott wrote the
Gatesy-
string part.
Yeah, Gatesy specifically asked for a quote-unquote Ray Charles string part, which is a kind of Nelson Riddle sort of feel, and very full, lush, saccharine and fronty. And it turns out what you wanted was just a synth pad in the distance.
Oh no! I really tried to get those old records with who were talking Ray Charles and stuff. Like those string sections are so in the back.
No, they're not. Well, certainly not the reference I was using, which was Born to Lose, off Modern Sounds and Country and Western.
Yeah,
which
I had to listen to that.
Did you?
Interestingly enough, yeah.
Wow.
It's
I think.
it's
I mean,
good.
I think what I noticed with the way they mix those is they're not afraid to duck it. That's for sure. It's really lush between vocals,
Sure.
and then it ducks really aggressively.
Yeah.
underneath.
Oh, look, when it comes to the mixing in the final day or so, or a couple of days, I try to get an approximate of what it should be or is or whatever. Like,
I
And for
feel
people
that-
who are wanting to know what Born to Lose is, can I just give you a little demo,
Yes.
folks? It's sort of it's a little more up in the mix, which is sort of easy when it's sort of real strings. I think when you've got the synth strings.
but
it makes it
also,
a little harder.
that is
given the
a challenge.
arrangement of the rest of the thing, have a listen to it. It is just a double bass and brushes on the thing.
Yeah.
Like, we crank straight into the boom, like it's a band. It's sonically different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
Dynamics
don't. I
is
don't
something
question you're not using it.
Yeah.
I question you're commissioning it.
Oh, sorry.
My feeling,
If it's any consolation, it's spent 4 days mixing. So, no.
if
Yeah.
it's interesting what different people kind of zoom in on, because first of all, the tempo and all that felt really good to me. That's real, but I know that's not really my forte, understanding that sort of stuff, feels and tempos and stuff. But the thing that I zoomed in on was the strings all sound late to me.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's
And
it's the velocity or the attack.
And
or
I
whatever.
think what happens is
attack,
if you hit go, I don't know how you programmed it or whether you played it in Scod, but if you put the note at the start of the bar, like right on the beat, just say you just programmed it in with a mouse, it's all going to sound
takes a
behind
while.
because the attack of strings.
Yeah, it depends on the string articulation I was using. Some of them I was
Absolutely,
using
yeah.
real attacky.
But they all
articulation.
sounded, to me,
Oh, that's
to
interesting.
slightly different extents, but
Yeah.
a bit behind to me, like a bit laggy.
Well, but on that, it was much because as soon as you add reverb as well, there's going to be distance between that. So it was way behind. It felt like it was a beat behind in the end.
Yeah, wow,
So I
that's
actually
interesting.
grabbed the whole thing
You
and
did
just
move
dragged
it.
it forward. Yeah.
Wow.
But even so, but then I thought, well, maybe part of the late, and this is why you'd have another, go at it later on a later date or something.
Yeah.
But are they meant to be late? Maybe they are meant to be slight. So I didn't want to take the
Yeah.
part.
Go too far.
Do you know what I mean? So it was somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely going for that washy
Yeah.
bit of vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate, I mean, you're quite right. That attack thing is an issue with.
But it's
strings.
and it also is a catch-22 of the sound is MIDI, So, if you want to hide the sort of artifice with kind of washy reverb and sort of that sort of, so maybe that was too hidey, hiding of the actual source.
It's so hard to mimic strings, because they're a voice. They're like a human voice. There's so much expression in them that, it's not, and maybe it's just because that's what my ear wants. I really zoom in as soon as I hear strings, but it just always sounds MIDI-ish to me. I mean,
there are some very expensive and pro sort of sound packs or whatever you want to call them for that people use a lot in Hollywood, and
I'm sure some programmers.
And there's an amazing programmer who can absolutely change articulation.
And that's the thing. This is one of those classic examples of okay, I'm going to have to go medium here because I would have to learn a whole craft.
Yes, it is. It is.
You know what I mean?
Think faking strings is like a whole craft. I agree. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm sure some people can make it sound,
But also, listeners and watchers or whatever, all keep in mind that the last part of the process, which if we had more time, we'd probably have another part or another meeting. Okay, the mix is at, what do we want it to? When we take away that, sometimes I'm making executive choices I feel terrible about. For instance, Scott wrote an string part to introduce, but then for me, the impact when the strings came in later, for me, it lost the impact of that moment.
Yeah,
because you already heard the strings. Yeah, and so I just went, boom, da, da, and let them swing, things like that. I just made a choice.
It's just it's the beauty and the difficulty of this particular song challenge thing, because we are making decisions really quickly, and some of that bears good fruit, but sometimes
Scott's doing a whole orchestration of strings without hearing what the rest of the instruments are doing necessarily.
Well, that's right. That's the other
voices,
part of it,
it's fucking. So it's an interesting. We got a song out at the end, but
I love it.
No, I love
keep your expectations at a normal level.
Normal. Okay.
Do you know what I was hearing with your part, Jon? Because you sent me. Okay, this is very Jon. And it's actually was an absolute lifesaver this week because I was very busy at work and,
that's good
as usual, handed in my part very late to Gatesy. But Jon essentially sung the part that he wanted me to do onto a separate track, and then I just had to record it and match his phrasing and so on, which was fun in and of itself. But when listening back to it, especially now, I hear much more of that sort of, I almost want to say Mexican
I do
brass,
too.
Where I sort of want there to be 5
Tex-Mex.
trumpets.
Tex-Mex.
5 trumpets, so they're all playing in unison, and it's really loud, but it's pulled back down in the mix, but it's got that attack, that intensity of just wah, 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 but it's...
But then it would just become a genre parody. I like that it's saxophone and...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just takes it somewhere slightly weird.
And then I want those two, well, let's say in this case, those two instruments, the sax and trumpet, I want that to come in back at the end. Like when Gatesy start layering all that stuff back in. I sort of want something to come back in at the end.
I wanted to just pinch that, exactly that, for the chorus at the end in the E.
Yeah.
And put it on a B3 or an organ, just... just like... just in the back, just to call back to it because it's such a beautiful melody. There was so much going on already, and
it needs to be something.
If we had another go at it, we definitely would add something like that.
Casey Bonetto asked this question: where there are double kicks, are they the same velocity? That feels like a very Casey question. That's a real Casey
question. Every note or beat, Casey, I plugged in. I played on the keyboard here. It is. Yeah, it's much, and even
it's
you can. Yeah, totally. Because it's how your foot would do it. It wouldn't go bum bum. It would go doom. That's,
Do you know what I think is the unquestionably best production choice in the song? And that is the way the vocal is recorded and how intimate and how is there no reverb or very little reverb? I love it. I love the sound of that.
Yeah.
Lead
No
vocal.
reverb.
Because you've mixed
that
it
sounds
differently
good.
to how you've done some of the others.
Yeah. I just do what I think the song sounds like. But no, the lead vocal, I wanted that real up close, but compressed to the fuck kind of radio FM lead vocal sound. Chris Christopherson, and yeah. I reckon if we had another, couple of days doing a song like that, it'd be really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I liked it as always, and this was one of the reasons why I had to make the difficult choice, because there were a lot of very strong pieces last week or last episode. Why I made the choice on Stevens ultimately, because I wanted to hear this different style, and if you think about the ones that we've had so far. I mean, God, it's really stretching, like in terms of styles. Like it's really all over the map in the best possible way. I think creativity is high at this point.
Possibly the most consistent from start to finish song we've had so far.
Yeah, nothing derails it, does it?
That was our challenge this week, to not.
I'm reading through the comments in YouTube here, and everyone is complimenting the hell out of you guys, saying that your own biggest critics. Richard Nilsson also writes, "What does velocity mean?" Well,
Casey, can we field that answer to Casey?
Casey, are you able to type it out? I mean, ultimately, it's not necessarily a musical term in terms of like an instrument. It's more of a MIDI programming term. I guess.
It means essentially it means how hard you hit the key, but there is a distinction to be made between velocity and volume.
Well, it's not how hard, it's how fast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's how fast.
Well, yeah.
It's how fast the note appears.
Yeah.
And so in some ways, those strings that you're talking about have a low velocity because they take a little bit to sort of come in.
They have all sorts of velocities, Andrew. I spent ages fine-tuning the velocity.
Someone's angry.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Someone's
loving
a little, cross.
It's feeding me. It's feeding me. I'm feeling more energized. The more that Scott gets lower and lower on the screen.
A lot of things happening.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay.
we're getting into the meat of the episode, and that is, of course,
My song in 20 minutes. It's a song that I wrote in 20 minutes, and it's my song, and it's a song, and it took 20 minutes to write.
it's sung in 20 minutes, and I feel like we've only been listening to songs in 20 minutes or items in 20 minutes for the last 60 minutes, but we're at the main event here, the battle royale, and at this point in time, we normally start with Cario.
The champ.
Cario the champ, and that's Stephen. So, Stephen, you are in the hot seat.
Woohoo! All right, let's get that over and done with.
While you're getting your guitar, I sent your topic very late, as requested, but probably later than you wanted. What was your topic?
12:15.
Quarter past 12. Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect timing because that's when I started recording.
What was your topic?
It was basically I've got the uncomfortable couch again.
I've got the uncomfortable couch again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Life couldn't be better. I'm on the ninth cloud. Too much sunny weather. I just love going out. Everything's going my way. My plans are all laid out. My pantry's full of groceries, and I got money for the first child. But I guess there's something missing from deep within my soul. A masochistic inkling I just can't seem to let go. I got the uncomfortable couch again. I got the uncomfortable couch. I got the uncomfortable couch again. I got the uncomfortable couch. You think I want give me ouch. I want the uncomfortable couch again. I want the uncomfortable couch. Oh.
Shit, I was going to put one of those solos.
Hey, very good. Very good. Yeah, I like it. Different feel.
Different feel.
How did
Just
you start
happy.
on this one, Gatesy? Did you start with some lyrics, with some feel, with some chords? Where'd you?
Well,
where'd
I
you
just
kick it off?
wanted to go. I wanted a happy song, but I didn't have anything. I just went. I got the uncomfortable couch. What's a positive way? Or maybe if your life is fucking awesome and you just want that little thing at the end to make you feel like you're alive and human. So yeah, uncomfortable couch was the chorus.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's about.
I liked I Want Ouch.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want I don't want ouch.
It reminded me it made me think of two things. Not Welcome Back Cotter, but that kind of 70s-y kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a TV theme.
Yeah, and also Kalpanutso. It reminded me of could be a Panut song.
Well, that's a fucking compliment. But this bit, I guess there's something missing from deep within my soul. That feels like Stevie Wonder or something.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, anyway. That fun song.
It was, and I mean this in the best possible way. It was a very logical song, as in it felt like it existed that way. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the chords totally worked.
The chorus came first because I was going to do that. I'm going to say it in the opening, but then I just worked backwards from there.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I like that. Right. Okay. You're off the hook, Gatesy. Well done.
Thanks, everyone.
Getting lots of applause on the YouTube stream with the Patreons, which is good. Now, who's next? Let me see here. I feel like we're going to go with Scott Edgar next.
Okay.
And Scott, what was your topic?
Oh, he's out.
Trying to remember the tune. All right, cool. So my topic was the snoring stopped, so I thought you were dead.
The snoring stopped, so I
topic.
thought you would... Yeah.
It's a good topic. Okay. I think I might be one of those guys who sees the boat, imagines the capsize, the very worst case goes off in my head last night in bed. When the snoring stopped, I figured you were dead. I should be glad to get some peace and quiet, but no, I went straight to she has died. I freaked, I froze, I acted like a fool, a goddamn tool. How I wish I could see glasses as half full.
I like it. I like it. And I'm hearing a yawn whistling solo.
Yeah, there was definitely going to be one of them solos, and then I was going to finish on the hook.
Well, you know, what was the last line? Glasses.
How I wish I could see glasses as half full.
Nice.
Yeah.
I liked Guys and Capsize. That was a nice rhyme there.
Yeah, special thanks to Rhyme Zone for that one.
Rhyme zoned it. Ooh.
I quit Rhyme Zone.
Yeah.
You're off it.
During an episode.
Yeah, you're getting off it, eh?
I used it. When I'm cheating, I'm using it, and then I didn't even end up using the rhyme anyway. So I went, no Rhyme Zone.
Forget it.
Nah. If I can't think of one, it's obviously wrong.
Yeah, I used to be able to think of good rhymes, but now I need help.
Where did you start? How did you get onto this one? Well, what did you first think when you read the topic?
Well, firstly, I mean, I just try and work out what have I got to say about this. Like, that's the first place you always start, right? And that it actually is easy because I am like that. Like, I'm always thinking of the absolute most visceral, violent, bloody, worst case outcome. You know, like when I say see you later, you know, I'm off to work, the first thing that comes into my head is like that person's going to be dead when I come home. Wow. You know, like that, like really, that's in there, right? Constantly playing all the worst case scenarios.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. So it's easy. Because that is the kind of thing I would do is first leap to the the glass half empty situation. So I just wrote about that.
Here's a sexist thing. When I read that topic and sent it over to you, all that came into my head was that it was a guy snoring.
Oh, well,
because I was like, only guys snore at night.
Yeah.
I know that's a weird. It's not. Is it sexist? It's not sexist. So when you mention a woman in it. Obviously done from your perspective. I was like, no, no, not at all, Your Honour. No one I know snores. And if I implied that, then I apologise wholeheartedly. Yeah, no, it's a fiction.
Not what I'm saying.
It's a fiction. Anyway, so that was a weird little surprise as we went along. I was like, yeah, sure. Women can snore too.
My dad claims that early in my parents' marriage, my mum would snore, and one night he just got jack of it, and he recorded her snoring, and then turned the volume up to full and played it back while she was still asleep.
That's like beyond passive aggressive.
And she never.
That's just aggressive.
And she never snored again. That's his little urban myth.
That's
bullshit.
So there we go. Does he see those like stop snoring ads on TV and go, all you need is a bloody cassette recorder?
And it was a reel-to-reel. Can you imagine that? A reel-to-reel.
Setting
play
up,
just in a bed.
Got his headphones on, setting up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Threading the tape.
I'm going to show her. Literally show her. Oh, that's great. I love that.
I like it. And you know what I like about the melody on that one, Scott, is that all of you have your styles and quirks and so on. This, out of a lot of the songs, certainly a lot of songs that I've heard in this season, there's sort of more longer melodies. And I liked that this one right off the bat just had space. I liked it. It was something different.
Yeah, lovely melody.
Big space fanatic when it comes to melody.
That was very good. Let's move on, shall we? To third, last but not least. Well, let's say he's fourth because really I was first.
You were.
And with my amazing song in 20 minutes.
Does that mean people can vote for your offering and we'll do your one next week?
Yeah,
oh, that'd be good.
We fixed my one up.
You got some time on your hands, Andrew?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Sax orchestra.
I can hear it. What Casio tone feel are we going for this week?
Have we got Casio tone?
It's not a question of going for, because I am mandated by the machine to do the next button along.
Mandated by the machine, Yanni's new solo album.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
And that is Waltz.
Waltz, love it.
We're going to a waltz. Oh, God, it's a fast waltz too.
Can you affect the tempo, or does it give you a tempo as well?
Oh, no, I picked the tempo.
You picked the tempo, cool.
Have you never danced before?
What's going off? Don't listen to them.
You're being heckled. That's what's going on.
Okay, ready.
That's a great look. That's my favourite look.
Sorry.
That's even better. Read the
I'm
words.
trying to read.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. I thought about exercising. Oh, hang on. It's called I Thought About Exercising Today.
All right, the topic. I thought about exercising today.
That's the topic. Okay, all right.
I thought about exercising today. Okay, Jon, off you go.
Okay, all right. I thought about exercising today, sizing today, but I'd done some shopping and also done mopping. They can be my exercising today. I thought about doing nice things today, nice things today, nice things today, but I'd made them coffee and dropped them all offy. That can be all of my nice things today. That call was a bit weird. Right. I thought about watching telly today, telly today, telly today, but I'd watch the making of The Mandalorian. Did that count? Did that count? What amount makes it count? Oh, fuck! Hang on, give me another go, give me another go. Hang on. Did that count? Did that count?
I love it.
Hang on.
The sheets are rebelling.
Did that count? Did that count? What amount makes it count? Did that count? Did that count? How much of this stuff is enough? Did that count?
Yes!
Did that count? Did that count? What amount makes it count? Did that count? Did that count? How much of this stuff is enough? Did that count? Alright.
I'm sort of imagining
I don't
people.
know if you could
I'm
actually
just
find a
imagining-
song in there, but
Imagining the person that tuned into this at that exact moment, not knowing what they were in for.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I
loved all even. I'd keep that in as the draft.
that's the master. That's the master track.
Just did it like you
wait on.
stumbling, dropping the keys, dropping, and goes, oh wait on.
Give me another go,
Did
give me
that
another go."
count? Did that count? It's great.
Yeah, so that made it funnier.
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
It's
Good
exactly
idea,
how I
too.
wrote it.
I think it's a great actual idea. The actual thing you're talking about is cool.
And
Yeah.
that second chord in the chorus, I love. Did that count? Did that count? Fun. Like there was this really strange note in there.
Yeah, it was on purpose.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Jon. So you received your topic. I thought about exercising today. So yeah, where did you go from there? Obviously, you went straight to the waltz because that's what the machine told you to do. But where from there?
The thing that I really want to talk about this song is that it hurts my emotions because the emphasis on lots of my lyrics are all weird, and the Scott and Gatesy are very familiar with this thing that I have. A lot of people have it, but for some reason I bring it up the most, and that is the emphasis of words in lyrics. I need them to mirror the emphasis that they would have if you were saying them, unless you were deliberately not emphasizing them for
that reason.
For
Well,
some
I think
other reason.
that's why it works in that song, Jon. Like, I thought about exercising today. It's not how you say it, it's exercise, right? So, but it's weird, and it's kind of an odd, wonky,
it forces you
kind
into
of
weirdness,
music
yeah.
boxy song, and I think that works.
Yeah.
Even the way, just those crotchets. I thought about it's like you're following like dogma or some kind of instruction, and you don't want It's like I thought I could imagine it on stage anyway. In a music.
We've been talking about the falsettos. I could see that song being in the musical falsettos.
Oh, yeah.
But,
what's it called, Mark?
What was the? I was thinking musical as well, and I'm trying to think what musical was it that I was.
It reminds me a bit of Matchmaker.
There it
make
is.
me a
There it
match,
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Matchmaker.
time.
Yeah. That's totally what I was hearing.
It's also, for me, it's got a slightly manic feel of like not getting married today. That kind of kind of anxious weirdness sort of thing.
Anxious weirdness.
Yeah.
Well, let's take it to the popular vote, and then the college will sort of
The electoral college.
Overrule.
Anyway,
the gerrymandering of the voting. So over to YouTube chat for your votes. Now, what I can tell you, as the comments have been streaming past, this is potentially the toughest week. I sort of agree. This is the toughest week I think we've ever had. These are three very strong songs. All three could absolutely be the winners this week, and I think would be deservedly so. So I am going to throw it over. I'm definitely going to be influenced by the chat here because, like I said, I think I'd be very happy with any of them. While that is happening, you guys, you had a show recently, didn't you, in Geelong?
No, that's next week.
Oh, that's next week.
Although, if you're listening to the podcast, it's probably
It is in the past.
2 days ago or something.
Oh, okay. Well, just maybe, I don't know, just in case. Oh, so it's a week from now.
From when we're recording it.
Yeah, but if would we be launching this podcast on that Friday?
Well, this podcast, would hopefully come out next Friday.
Friday the 26th is what we're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
So if it's coming out before 6 p.m, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between there, we're doing a gig in Geelong via the internet.
Yes. Oh, also, can I just... This has nothing to do with Pogo, by the way.
That's going to be
since
hard.
I mention it. So in terms of crossing the streams, I'm doing something with the MSO in a couple of weeks. So if you've got kids that want to be entertained, it'll probably, when this comes out, I think it'll be tomorrow. But go to the MSO website and find there's a kids program I'm co-hosting with Ben Northey.
Great.
So called.
It's gonna be fun.
Great.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're cutting it.
Oh, yes. If you're listening, there was a good visual joke.
Yeah. It's a perfect
I don't have it in
podcast
front of
joke.
me exactly what it's called. Just look. You go to the MSO website, you'll find it.
Yeah.
So,
do you know I only found out about this in a team meeting where someone mentioned, Scott from Tripod is going to be doing X, and I said, oh really? And they said, you're not involved, Pogo. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's what we have to make that clear every time. It's like, this isn't to do with Pogo.
Yeah.
Not a nepotism deal.
Funny. Anyway, okay, what do we got here? What do we got? Hey, wait a minute. I think this is the only vote that matters. Casey Bonetto votes. Pogs. Well done, Casey.
I'm really looking forward to having him on the show.
Okay, so I'm looking through here, and oh man, God, it's pretty split. Oh no, maybe not. Do you know what? I think this is popular vote. Today's winner is Simon Yon Hall.
Yeah, I agree with that decision. It's a good decision.
Well done, Yoni.
Thank you.
Back at number one. How do you feel?
Back in our saddle.
It'll be the most fun to make too.
Very good.
Yeah, excellent. Well done. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yoni.
Yeah, so well
I
done.
mean, again, so many. There've been a lot of non-winning songs that could go on the album, the double album.
The double album.
The Spotify playlist.
We got a little request on the Pog and Hood mailbag, and of course, if you would like to write into everyone's favourite mailman, Pog and Hood, you can pogandhood@gmail.com. That's POGGINHOOD @gmail.com. And we had a request from a Patreon listener, actually, who will remain nameless, but they are very, very, very keen for a CDR.
A CDR?
A CDR. Wow. Now, I would have been happy to just like burn one off when we've got enough tunes eventually, because this particular Patreon supporter is, I don't want to say top supporter, but they're the top supporter. And they wanted this thing. Now, I don't have a burner, and I haven't had a drive of any description for many years now. Do you guys have CD burners?
Yeah, I do. My laptop still has an internal one.
Yeah.
When I bought it, I had to be this, I had to be this grumpy old man who's like, I want one with internal drive, and they're like, you realise you're going to have to buy a laptop that's 5 years out of date for that. And I'm like, I don't care. I need Firewire and a CD burner.
Yeah.
See, Gatesy, I feel like this is the sort of tech that you'd have, or have you launched all your physical media?
No, I was committed to backing things up on DVD-R.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's the most full, although you've got to fill up a lot of them if you've got lots of files. But yeah, I do that. And make sure I've got an external writer to accompany those ones.
Have we talked about the fact, Pogo, that one time when we were making an album, I can't remember which one, it might have been Middleborough Road, we were looking into including in the artwork a microfiche of all the lyrics. Like
microfiche?
The lyrics on microfiche. Do you know what microfiche is?
No, tell me.
So it's sort of like a transparency that's very high resolution, that you sort of put in this special machine in a library. You got to go to a library to look at it, and you put
They
it under
only
this,
exist in libraries.
You put it under this little. You slide it into this little thing, and a light hits it, and then it comes up on a screen.
It's like
Right.
old
You sort of-
newspapers and stuff.
And
Yeah,
you move
okay.
it around on a little. Yeah. They used to condense
Yeah, I know what you
newspapers
mean.
into this format, and
Yeah,
you sort of
yeah.
move it around on a flat plane to
Yep.
find the bit of the page that you want.
And you're going to put lyrics on that?
We
Yeah, we
never
were gonna do that.
We never got to do that, but I feel like we did at least achieve a sort of almost as annoying idea for people who wanted to know the lyrics of one of our albums by printing them all on the CD itself. And that's back in the days when you would put it into the machine to hear it.
Can
So
I?
That was
I've
annoying.
got
That's
to hand
something.
it to your managers over the years. How fucking annoying would it be to manage you guys? Like,
Yeah.
It is.
They
Fucking
would all
super annoying.
agree.
They've all said it.
They all said it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
all
some
but
of them
one
even
have
walked
followed
away.
that up with, therefore I quit.
Give him time.
And yeah, though you would have seen those microfiche machines in any sort of made-for-television movie where the woman or man goes back to their country town and investigates.
Oh, yeah.
you know, and
The
they're
old
in
papers.
library
The Cradle
and,
or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I get
they're
you.
always in there, and they go, "Oh, there it is. There's the newspaper article."
Now, I wanted to finish this particular episode off with an ongoing segment that is based mostly around this.
Quick! Everything must go! Gatesy's Merch Corner.
So, Stephen Gates, welcome to Gatesy's Merch Corner. Who do you have to apologise to this week?
The same people.
Sorry, Gatesy. Let me just. Sorry, it cut out a bit on the Zoom there. Gatesy, who do you need to apologise to this week?
The same people as last time.
You know what you can do? You can just pretend your Zoom's glitching out. It works.
No, I did that last week. No, same people. So
people.
I get back to Melbourne on Wednesday, which is, and yeah, I figured, why handball the task to someone else when it was my fuck up anyway?
When you can
And-
continue to beat yourself up far more
No.
effectively this way.
No. I did it last time. I'm okay. I'm free.
Yeah. You flagellated.
Yeah, because I said sorry. Everything's okay. No. So yeah, I'll get on that the moment I get back to Melbourne. So I'm sorry, people who are expecting their things.
It's all good. What I actually wanted to talk about is I'm getting a lot of questions about this in terms of Merchland. We will be releasing some kind of album, and that could just be Bandcamp only. It could be the odd person wanting a CDR of these winning tracks, and I don't want to make promises my body can't cash or Gatesy's body can't cash, but there could also be other songs that perhaps were great options that were beat out in the particular week. Is that? I mean, I'm saying this without having talked to you guys. Do you think that is very much on the cards? A genuine, I'm not saying physical release, Bandcamp release.
We should do something with all this stuff.
Mm.
I don't know what it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be some good idea waiting out there.
Maybe how our EP was called Perfectly Good Songs. Maybe this album is called Too Many Songs.
Many songs.
Too many songs.
Perfectly good podcast songs.
Can I resubmit Spanish Influencer? As a,
Yes.
That's pretty good.
I've got an artwork idea as well.
Okay, yep. Shoot it.
Well, it's a photo. I don't know if I can describe it, but we're each in a big sort of plastic sack, and like a
Why do
see-through
your
plastic.
artwork ideas always involve someone being trussed up or
Let
in a
me
sack?
finish. Fucking do one of them, and maybe I'll move on. So each of us is in like a plastic sack, it's sort of thick, clear plastic, but we're like in a really tight hug as much as we can within being in sacks. And I'm kind of imagining like the plastic has sort of fogged up a little bit.
Oh, it's see-through plastic. It's like clear. I was thinking garbage.
Yeah. No. And it's sort of a bit thick. It's like if you ordered a pallet of bricks, that kind of plastic that would be wrapped in.
It's like what Dexter rolls up his victims in.
I can't picture that. Maybe.
In your head, are we naked in nappies inside the sack? Just I want to know what we're dealing with here.
As a generous collaborator, I'll say maybe.
Stephen Gates, you had your hand up. What would you like to say?
No. That's what I'm saying. No.
Pogo, I campaigned so hard for one of our Christmas albums to be. It's like imagine like a beautifully set dinner table at Christmas, right?
Yes.
With Scott and Gatesy standing behind the table with like knives and forks and little serviettes tucked into their collars.
Yep. So they're wearing clothes.
Yeah, they're wearing clothes.
Okay.
And I'm not though.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm on the table, hog-tied with an apple in my mouth.
I'm about to say
like,
you the turkey.
But my skin is sort of like treated so it looks a bit sort of turkey
I think
textured.
that's where I lose. That's where I
didn't
lose.
know
it.
about that.
Yeah, I don't like that bit.
Which
I
bit
had
didn't
already-
you know? The texture.
The texture of your skin.
That we have to look.
Well, I just
look-
added that then. I just thought,
Yeah, right. No, I don't like it.
I'm just going to keep slightly altering it in case it gets it over the line.
By the way, if it helps you at all, we have done a trussed up photo shoot.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's good.
The Christmas tree one?
Yeah, the Christmas tree one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was all right.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's cute. But yeah, always wanting to be restrained, trussed up, and sort of contained.
I don't understand. Okay, I
Repressed.
understand we're going to eat the
Dominated.
turkey. We're going to eat the turkey. That makes perfect sense. Sure. Why? What is this one? It's about perfectly good podcast, songs in isolation. Why is everyone in plastic bags, naked in nappies, with
And it's
condensation on the middle?
And Pogo, it's called. It's
Spanish
also
influencer.
called Spanish influencer. It's also called that. So Jan,
it's called
talk
that.
us through that.
No, I'm not going to.
Oh, really? Some art doesn't need.
No.
You're right. You're actually.
It's
you're
what you
actually
make it.
right. Yeah, you're
I
right.
still like
God.
Month of Sundays, but you know. Yeah.
Month of Sundays.
Yeah.
No.
We'll never get there. There'll never be any merch because you'll never be able to agree on the title. Oh my
I
lord!
like Spanish influencer though. That's great. But also, Yanni, the cooking, the color, the cooked color on your skin as you're a trussed up turkey, right? That's really for you, isn't it? Because you wouldn't want to see a photo of an uncooked Yanni. Yanni has to look cooked,
Well prepared.
for it to,
Yeah,
you know,
Do you know what? The honest answer is I think my skin is more gross than that of a cooked turkey. I think that's why. But also, I want to look delicious. You know, I want to look edible.
This is where we're getting. Right, this is where we're getting. Finally,
This is we're really
You want to
getting
be
into
et.
the.
I mean, what is more delicious than chicken skin that's cooked?
A man with chicken skin.
yeah, that's true. It's like Cats, the movie, all over again.
Yeah.
This weird fucking.
Where are the buttholes? Yeah.
But you're gonna have to be chicken size, Yanni. So we're gonna have to sort of shrink you, don't we?
I
And
was
get
imagining me normal
This
size.
feels like a Patreon content kind of conversation.
Don't say that. We save the good stuff for them.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of which, I'm looking at the time here. Unfortunately, I believe it has brought us to the end.
Good episode.
of Perfectly Good Podcast, Season 5, Episode 6. Out! That was a big episode. That was a lot of things in 20 minutes.
That was.
That one.
There was a lot of
You
things.
keep bringing up your one.
No, it was in the mix.
I mean,
It was in
you're
the mix.
welcome. By all means, be proud of it. Be proud.
Fucking hell.
Goodbye.
Bye. Keep recording. Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
Patreoners.
Hi, Patreoners.